Hello everyone, Damon from Shattered Creations, and in this video we're going to set up Ollama for Archive of Voices. This isn't going to be a deep dive into artificial intelligence, model comparisons, benchmarks, or advanced hardware discussions. The goal today is simple. By the end of this video, you'll have Ollama installed, you'll have a model downloaded, and you'll have Archive of Voices talking to your NPCs using local AI. Before we install anything, let's quickly answer the obvious question. What is Ollama? Ollama is a program that allows you to run AI models directly on your own computer. Instead of sending requests to a cloud service like OpenAI or Claude, the AI runs locally on your machine. For Archive of Voices, that means that generating NPCs and your NPC conversations can happen without paying for API requests every time someone asks a question. Now, just before we jump into installation, we need to talk briefly about hardware, because hardware and local AI is very important. Running AI locally means your computer is doing all the work instead of the cloud server. Specifically, your GPU. And that means that your experience will depend heavily on your hardware. If you have a dedicated graphics card with at least 8 GB of VRAM, you should be able to run a smaller model without much trouble at all. If you have 12 GB or more of VRAM, you'll generally have access to a wider selection of models and a little bit faster response times. Can Ollama run without a graphics card? Technically, yes, but I want to set realistic expectations. If you're using an older laptop or a system without a dedicated GPU, response times are going to be very slow. In some cases, you could be waiting several minutes for a single response. For your reference, today, all of the testing in this video will be done on an RTX 4070 with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Man, I wish it had 20 gigabytes of VRAM. If you're not sure whether local AI is right for your hardware, don't worry. Archive of Voices still supports OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, and all the other cloud providers exactly as it did before. With all that out of the way, if you're ready, let's get Ollama installed. So we're going to go to ollama.com. You're going to line up on this page right here, and you want to scroll all the way to the bottom and find this Get Started with Ollama download button. Now I know you saw it up here in the corner. It's got the Pro $20 a month, $200 a year, all that stuff. Don't worry about that. We don't need that. Click on the download button. It's going to find the one for your machine. I'm on Windows, so I downloaded for Windows. Once the download finishes, run the installer just like any other application. Click through the installation process and accept the default settings. When the installation is complete, launch Ollama. That's it. No account, no registration, no API keys, no configuration files, just install and run. Now that Ollama is installed, we need a model to run. So we're going to open a terminal window on Windows. It's click the start menu and type CMD, press enter. You'll get a command prompt. If you're on Mac or Linux, open your terminal application of choice. For this tutorial, we're going to use Quinn 3.8b. So we're going to type the following command into our command prompt. Press enter. And it will pull the manifest and download the model. Depending on your internet connection, this may take a few minutes. Once the download completes, the model is installed and ready to use. You only need to download a model once. So if you've ever looked into models, you know that there are dozens and dozens of them for Ollama. So you might wonder why I'm using Quinn. For this tutorial, I'm using Quinn 3.8b because it has a very good result inside Archive of Voices. I've done many hours of testing working with my internal prompts for getting our AI NPCs to speak as they're supposed to. And during this testing, I found out that Quinn tends to follow the NPC memory and instructions more reliably than several of the other models that I've tested. For an NPC role-playing system, that's incredibly important. If an NPC doesn't know something, I want it to say that it doesn't know something. I don't want it inventing new lore, new characters, or new plot points that don't exist in its memory journals. That doesn't mean Quinn is the perfect model, and it doesn't mean other models are bad. It simply means that for Archive of Voices, Quinn has given me consistently good results. Don't worry about finding the perfect model for you right now. Get your first model working. You can always experiment with others later. So, if you want to check and make sure that you have models installed, you can add a command to the prompt here called Ollama list. Press enter and it will list every model installed on your computer. So after that, before we jump back over to Foundry, let's make sure that Ollama is running and running our model. So we're going to run one more command over here. And it is Ollama run Quinn3:8b. We press enter. It's going to take it a minute to load the model into our VRAM and then ask us to send a message. The message I'm going to ask it to send is, tell me about D&D 5e. We're going to press enter, and you see instantly that our model starts thinking. All of this grayed out text is our model thinking. We see here now it's done thinking. And it comes back with Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition as a widely popular role-playing game that combines storytelling, strategy, and creativity. It was officially released in 2014, succeeding the 4th edition and building on the legacy of earlier edition. Here's an overview of its key aspects. And it goes through and it tells me the key aspects of 5e. If everything's working correctly and the model generates a response, congratulations. You now have a local AI running on your computer. To exit the conversation, we're going to do /by, and it takes us out of the conversation, and that's it. We're done. Our AI is installed. Our model is installed. We can close our command window, and we can move back over to Foundry. Now, inside Foundry, we're going to open Archive of Voices Pro. Look at the LLM API. You can see mine is already set up. Yours probably looks like you're using the proxy, or you're using OpenAI, OpenRouter, Claude, Gemini, something of that nature. Or maybe this is your first install and you're just going straight to Ollama. So we want the LLM provider to be Ollama, local GM machine. And then, of course, we want to select one of our models. And me, I'm using the Quinn3:8b. Remember to save, my friends. Never forget to save your settings. That's it. You're set up. Your OpenAI or your Ollama and your model are locked. We can go and we can start chatting with NPCs immediately. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to look for one of my NPCs. Let's talk to Jairus. Let's see. Hello. Hello. How are you today? We're going to hit send. And he's going to think. And the very first that you're going to get could take just a little while because it has to load the model into your VRAM. It says, oh, hello. Did you hear the echo of the city just now? It was if it welcomes you, like a forgotten melody finding its way home. The crucible pulses beneath the stone, humming a tune only the spiral seems to understand. How might I assist you today in this curious land? Jairus is one of my NPCs from a hidden city that my players encountered, and he has very strange ways of speaking. He may not have been the best to choose for this. Let's go over to David, Captain of the Guard. The reason I'm picking David, Captain of the Guard, is because I have played with his journal. If I open up his journal, you will see that he has known information. And this known information is about the Black Reef Gang, the smugglers operate from a hidden hideout somewhere in the western coast. The leader of the smugglers is David Three Fingers Kepler. The city offers a bounty of 50 gold or 100 gold. He's never met David. He does not know what he looks like, and most of what he knows comes from reports and rumors. The city card considers the Black Reef Gang dangerous. So now if we go over here to David and we ask, tell me about the Black Reef Gang, and we send that off, he'll come back in just a moment telling us information about the Black Reef Gang. So, gravelly voice, eyes narrowing, the Black Reef Gang. Pauses, grip tightening on sword hilt. Smugglers operate from a hidden hideout on the west coast. This is true. Their leader is David Three Fingers Kepler. Also true. The city offers a bounty for any members, 50 gold, and 100 gold for Kepler himself. Both true. They're a threat. The guard considers them dangerous. That's all. So he followed his memories and the known knowledge that we gave him. He did not invent anything new, and he stayed in character while presenting this knowledge. And this is literally just bullet points. It wasn't even full sentences or paragraphs. It was just bullet points. And we did this with an 8B model. So what are some of the advantages of running locally? There's no per prompt costs. If you were using ChatGPT or Claude, every time that you asked one of these questions, it is going to cost you real world money. Once Ollama is installed and a model is downloaded, you can have as many conversations as you want without worrying about API usage. And because Archive of Voices routes all the requests through the GM using socketlib, only the GM needs Ollama installed. Your players don't need Ollama, they don't need API keys, they don't need any special setup at all. Everything works through the GM's machine behind the scenes. Whether Foundry is running on your local computer or hosted somewhere on a remote server, Archive of Voices can still communicate with Ollama running on the GM's machine. And that's really all there is to it. Install Ollama, download a model, select it inside Archive of Voices, start talking to your NPCs. If you run into any issues, feel free to join the Shattered Creations Discord, and we will do our best to help you. We are not experts on local AI and hardware, things of that nature, but we will do our best to help you. And until then, thank you for watching, thank you for your support, and we'll see you in the next video.